let me say, first of all, thank you so much to this fantastic panel, Francis, Elfidar, Jonathan. Thank you not only for your insights, which I think are deeply important, but for the work that you do every day to expose the CCP's repression, to continue the fight for freedom, even at great personal cost. And I really salute you for that work. We have seen the expansion of this trend of transnational repression over the last decade, and it has expanded because it has not been met with a strong response by democratic governments. And that is a failing. It's a failing we need to correct. We've seen assassinations. We've seen abuse of Interpol red notices. And we've seen the kind of measures taken against our colleagues who are with us today. The CCP, quite honestly, has pushed the boundaries of creativity, I would say, in the measures that it has sought to use in terms of legal and economic coercion against its critics. Now, like my NED fellow family members, IRI and the NED that you heard from earlier, NDI has also been sanctioned by China in 2019, again in 2020 twice, and in 2021, both the organization and a number of our individual staff. To me, these sanctions are part of a set of actions by the CCP that really have exposed its intentions much more clearly to actors like those in the business community who had preferred to look the other way and take advantage of what the Chinese economy had to offer. As Damon said, from our perspective as a democracy organization, these sanctions only strengthen our resolve. And our resolve is to stand up for our partners from Xinjiang, from Hong Kong, from Taiwan, and from elsewhere. I think in the work that we do, one of the most pernicious myths that I come across again and again here in Washington is that support from the United States, from other Western democracies for activists who are under threat, that kind of support is the kiss of death. That somehow standing up for them brands them as agents of America and delegitimizes them in their own struggle. And I think nothing could be further from the truth. I think what we hear from our partners all around the world is that they are stronger when we stand up for them, and that all of us democratic activists, all of the human rights community are stronger when we stand together, when we stand up for one another. China is attempting to wield its own legal frameworks alongside its influence in multilateral bodies and elsewhere as weapons against its critics. That's what we just heard about from this fantastic panel. And this event is so important to ensure that they don't succeed in silencing these voices. They're not only trying to hoodwink their own population, as Damon described, but also citizens across the world, especially in less developed countries, in Southeast Asia, in Africa, in Latin America. Everywhere NDI works, we see this pernicious influence. We see this propaganda. We see this effort to shut down and silence evidence of Chinese human rights abuses domestically and evidence of its transnational repression. And this is part of a broader strategy by the CCP, right? To undermine democracy, to undermine freedom, to undermine the strength of the United States and our democratic partners globally. It comes along with propaganda efforts, it comes along with economic coercion, and everywhere we work, we confront this, and we and our partners work to combat it. So in closing, let me just say thank you so much to Hudson, to NSI, to IRI for convening us today. Thank you to all of you for the insights that you offered. Thank you all for being here. And this is going to be a long struggle, but we are here and we're not going away. Thanks so much.